वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे ब्रह्मविद्याचार्याय नचिकेतसे च। You can repeat after me. First chapter, third section, third mantra. Atmanam rathinam viddhi
आत्मानं रथिनं विद्धि
शरीरं रथमेव तु
शरीरं रथमेव तु
बुद्धिं तु सारथिं विद्धि
बुद्धिं तु सारथिं विद्धि
मनः प्रग्रहमेव च
मनःप्रग्रहमेव च
इन्द्रियाणि हयानाहुः विषयांस्तेषु गोचरान् आत्मेन्द्रियमनोयुक्तम् भोक्तेत्याहुर्मनीषिणः। यस्त्वविज्ञानवान् भवति
यस्त्वविज्ञानवान् भवति
अयुक्तेन मनसा सदा
अयुक्तेन मनसा सदा
तस्येन्द्रियाण्यवश्यानि
तस्येन्द्रियाण्यवश्यानि
दुष्टाश्वा इव सारथेः
दुष्टाश्व इव सारथेः
It's a typo.
दुष्टाश्वायिव
Taisye.
सारथेः
Tai is Taisyendriyani. It's a typo. Tasyendriyani. Tasyendriyani. Tasyendriyani avashyani. Yastu vijnanavan bhavati.
यस्तु
यस्तु
विज्ञानवान्
विज्ञानवान्
भवति
भवति
Yuktena manasa sada.
युक्तेन
युक्तेन
मनसा
मनसा सदा
Tasyendriyani vashyani.
तस्येन्द्रियाणि
इन्द्रियाणि
वश्यानि
वश्यानि
Sadashva iva sarathe.
सदश्वायिव
सदश्वायिव
सारथेः
सारथेः
Yastva vijnanavan bhavati.
यस्य
यस्य
विज्ञानवान्
विज्ञानवान्
भवति
भवति
अमनस्कः सदा शुचिः
मनस्कः
मनस्कः
सदा
सदा
शुचिः
शुचिः
न स तत्पदमाप्नोति
न स तत्पदमाप्नोति
तत्पदमाप्नोति
न स तत्पदम् आप्नोति. Here it's also typo. Tatpadam apnoti, not anpoti. Samsaram chadhigacchati.
संसारं चाधिगच्छति
Vijnanasarathyaryastu.
विज्ञानसारथिर्यस्तु
I think we missed one more in between. Number 8.
Yes, there is
Yes, it is
यस्माद्
here.
भूयो न जायते
Yastu vijnanavan bhavati.
यस्तु विज्ञानवान्
ज्ञानवान्
भवति
भवति
समनस्कः सदा शुचिः.
समनस्कः सदा
सदा
शुचिः
शुचिः
स तु तत्पदम् आप्नोति.
तत्पदमाप्नोति
यस्माद् भूयो न जायते.
यस्माद् भूयो न जायते
विज्ञानसारथिर्यस्तु.
विज्ञानसारथिर्यस्तु
मनः प्रग्रहवान् नरः.
मनः प्रग्रहवान् नरः
सोऽध्वनः पारमाप्नोति.
सोऽध्वनः पारमाप्नोति
तद्विष्णोः परमं पदम्.
तद्विष्णोः परमं पदम्
This is the mantra we are studying. We have seen the simple meaning as well as the first line of the Vashyam, I think. Just quickly summarize the meaning. Then we will continue. Vijnana Saratihi. Yaha Vijnana Saratihi. Manah Pragrahavan. Saha Naraha. Advanah Param Apnoti. Tat Parampadam. Tat Vishnoho Parampadam. Advanah Param Apnoti. Taha Vijnana Saratihi. Saratihi, that is Vijnana Saratihi, that Ratha Swami. The Ratha Swami. The Ratha Swami, the Sarathi, Sarathi is Vijnanavat. Sarathi, the driver, Vijnanavat. Vijnanavati Saratihi. Sarathi विवेकवती बुद्धिः सारथिः सः सारथिः मनः प्रग्रहवान् मनः एव प्रग्रहवान् प्रग्रहवत् that is asya asti, the one who has the mind as the reins. Manah pragragavat saha purushah pragragavan. Manah pragragavan denotes the sarathi. Both are in prathama vibhakti. So vijnana sarathihi manah pragragavan saha naraha. It means the one who has, for whom the buddhi has clear discrimination, as buddhi endowed with that viveka, vijnanavat saratihi saha, and also the one who has the mind as the reins. It means having the disciplined mind. Saha naraha purushaha apnoti. He gains. Saha purushaha apnoti. He gains. What does he gain? Advanaf param. Advanaf param apnoti. Advanaha means the path. Param is the end of the path. That is the destination. He reaches the destination. And what is the destination? Tatpadam. And Tatpadam is Parampadam. It is the ultimate Padam. It is Vishnoho Paramam Padam. That is the Padam, the abode, the destination of Vishnu. So here the word Vishnu has to be understood. When you say Vishnoho Paramam Padam, that is the highest Padam of Vishnu. It means this Vishnoho Paramam Padam can lead to some misconception. If you take Vishnu as a particular Devata, Saguna Brahma, one of the Trimurti, then it could be taken as the place, Vaikunta. So it will support the vision of the other Darshana. Visishta Dvaitam walks in. Or the word Vishnu, if you analyze the meaning of the word, how it is derived. It is derived from the dhatu vish, vyapto, vyapane vish dhatu, that which pervades. That which pervades, Bhagavan pervades the entire Jagat. Srishta Jagat is not different from Bhagavan. There is no place where Bhagavan is not there. There is nothing other than Bhagavan. Srishti is not different from the Srishti Karta. It cannot be different. If it is different, then in the Srishta Jagat, Bhagavan is not there. Bhagavan has got a location now. When he has got a location in terms of place, in terms of time, then he cannot be Bhagavan. He becomes limited. Bhagavan is the one who is complete, who is unlimited, who is the reality. How can he have a location? So therefore, there cannot be subject-object difference even for Bhagavan. If Bhagavan is the subject, the creator of the object, the Jagat, then the Jagat must be not different from the creator. Abhinna nimitta upadana Karanam. Therefore, the word Vishnu has to be understood as Sarva Vyapaka Ishvara, Bhagavan who is manifesting in the form of the entire Jagat universe. Virat Rupa Bhagavan. That meaning can be taken. And this Virat Ishvara, the Jagat, is only a manifestation. But that alone is not Bhagavan. Vyakta Jagat, the Jagat which is manifested, it is only a part of Bhagavan. That which is unmanifest, that is also Bhagavan. So Vyakta, Avyakta, both are Bhagavan. So Bhagavan is, he transcends the Jagat also. He is the Jagat. Without Jagat also, Bhagavan is the unmanifested, also is Bhagavan. Therefore, if Jagat can be taken as the Saguna Brahma, then Nirguna Brahma also, which is the Adhisthana of the Jagat also, Bhagavan. Therefore, Nirguna Brahma Vishnu, that is the meaning of the word Vishnu. That also can be taken. In fact, that is the meaning. Nirguna Brahma. Sachit Ananda Swarupa Brahma Vastu. That is the Paramam Padam. So therefore, Yaha Vijnana Saratihi, who is Manah Pragravan, Saha Apnoti. Saha Apnoti. Because he is endowed with knowledge, endowed with Vijnanam, therefore, Saha, he attains the highest Padam, which is Vishnu Padam, that is Brahma Padam. That is the meaning of this mantra. Then the Bhashya, we read Vijnana Saratihi
Vijnana Sarathihi
Yastu
Yastu
Yaha Viveka Buddhi Saratihi
Yaha Viveka
Viveka
Buddhi
Buddhi
Sarathihi
Sarathihi
Purvoktaha
Purvoktaha
Manah Pragragavan
Manah
Pragavan
Pragrhita Manaha Samahita Chittaha San
Tadgrihita Manaha
Samahita
Chittaha
Chittan
Shuchir Naraha Vidwan Saha
Vidwan Saha
Naraha Vidwan Saha Advanaha Samsaragatehe
Advanaha Samsaragatehe
Param Parameva Adigantavyam Ityetat
Param Parameva
Adhigantavyam
Iti
Apnoti
Apnoti
Muchyate Sarva Samsara Bandhanaihi.
Muchyate Sarva Samsara Bandhanaihi.
Okay. So Vijnana Saratihi Yaha Vijnana Saratihi Yastu. That is in the Moolam mantra. In the mantra it is there. Kaha Vijnana Saratihi Viveka Buddhi Saratihi. Sarati who has Buddhi, and the Buddhi is endowed with Viveka. Vivekavati Buddhihi. Vivekavat. Vivekavat is not like Viveka, the one who has Viveka. Vivekavati Buddhihi. Saratihi. Yaha. That is a Vijnana Saratihi. The Sarati, the chariot, the charioteer, that is the driver. Which is the driver? The Buddhi is the driver for this Ratha chariot. So, therefore, that Buddhi, which is endowed with Viveka, Viveka Buddhi, Nitya Nitya Vastu, Viveka, Atmanatma Vastu, Viveka, so the one who has the clear understanding and discrimination. Saha Purvoktaha. Purvoktaha Saha, the one who has been talked about before. Saha Manah Pragragavan. Pragrihita Manaha Yasya Saha. Pragrihita Manaha. It's a compound. Manah Pragragavan means Manaha Pragrahavat, the one who has. Manah Pragragavan Pragrahavat. Grahavat Pragrahavat. For whom the mind is mind is as the reins. The one who has the mind as the reins. That is Manah Pragrahavat, the person. And when you decline Pratama Vibhakti will be Manah Pragragavan. That is equal to Pragrihita Manaha. Manaha, how does the word Manaha comes? Manaha Manasi Manamsi. Manaha Manasi Manamsi. It is Napumsakalinga. There is no word Manaha, but here qualifies the person. Therefore, it's a compound. Bahubhrigi Samasa. Therefore, Sakaranta Shabda declined like Vedas Shabda. Vedas is Pullinga. Vedaha, Vedaso, Vedasaha. Pullinga. And here, since it qualifies Vijnana Saratehi, Pullinga, therefore, Pragrihita Manaha. Pragrihitam Manam Yasya Saha Pragrihita Manaha. Manah Pragragavan. One more word in Bhagavad Pada gives. Samahita Chittaha. Samahitam Chittam Yasya Saha. The one who has this Chittam. Samyak Hagitam. Well focused. Samahita Chittam. The one who has that Chitta, the mind. Sun. Being of that. Saha Shuchihi. Shuchihi means pure. The one whose mind is relatively pure. Only the pure mind knowledge can take place. Therefore, pure. Ragadvesha is not there. Sufficient neutralization of Ragadvesha has been done by Karma Yoga. By some means, he has gained mastery over this Ragadvesha. San Saha Naraha now is Naraha Vidwan. He has become a Vidwan, wise person, Jnani. Saha Advanaha Samsara Gatehe. Gati is the movement of the path. Samsara Gati is a path. The road of samsara, the path of samsara. Param. Param is Param eva Adigantavyam, to be reached. Advan of Param is reaching the other side of the samsara. Other side of the samsara is to be reached. Adigantavyam. It etat. So what happens to the person? Saha apnoti. He gains. Apnoti means gains. Gaining is not physically gaining anything. There is no physical gaining. Therefore, Bhagavad Pada gives Muchyate Sarva Samsara Bandhanaihi. He becomes free from all the bandha, the bondages. Samsara, Sarva Samsara Bandhanaihi. From all sorts of bondages, he becomes free. He attains the padam, the goal. Attaining the goal, he is released from samsara bandhana, from all the shackles, bondage of samsara. Since avidya has gone by vidya, by jnanam, therefore all the products of avidya, vidyayaha kamaha, kamat karma, karmanaha janma maranadi. So, karmanaha papa punyam. So once avidya is gone, all the products of avidya are also gone. Therefore, there is no kama, and there is no karma, no papa punya, therefore no janma maranam. He becomes free, saha muktaha bhavati. That is the apnoti. That is gaining the goal, the destination. The destination is not a place to be reached. The destination is myself. The destination is myself. So here, the next line, the Vishnu Padam, Bhagavad Pada, he himself will describe. There we will understand what is this destination. Now, the next line, Tat Vishnoho
तद्विष्णोः
विष्णोः
Vyapana Shilasya
व्यापनशीलस्य
Brahmanaha Paramatmanaha
ब्रह्मणः परमात्मनः
परमात्मनः
Vasudevakhyasya
वासुदेवाख्यस्य
Paramam Prakrishtam Padam Sthanam.
परमं
प्रकृष्टं पदं स्थानं
Paramam is equal to Prakrishtam. Padam is equal to Sthanam, place. Satatvam ityetat
तत्त्वम् इत्येतत्
yat asau apnoti vidvan.
असौ आप्नोति विद्वान्
Okay. So, Saratihi, Vijnana Saratihi, Manah Pragravan, the person, Evam Bhutaha, Yaha Naraha, Vidwan, Saha, Advanah Param, Apnoti, Saha Yati, Gacchati, Samsarat Vimuktaha Bhavati. Now, what is this Advanafaram Vishnoho Padam? That has to be explained. What is that Vishnoho Vishnupadam, Vishnoho Padam? Tat Vishnoho Vyapana Shilasya Brahmanaha Paramatmanaha Vasudeva Devakhyasya. Here the word Vishnu is, Bhagavad Pada says, it has Vyapana Shilasya. Vyapana is all pervading. Vyapana is pervading. Vyapana Shilasya, the nature of being pervading. Brahmanaha, the vastu. Brahmanaha, Vyapana Shilasya, Brahmanaha. That is the Vishnu. That is the Padam. So, the goal, the destination, what the person reaches by this is not different from him, not different from the person. The person was thinking the destination is located somewhere. There is a place located in time, and therefore, so that's the goal to be reached. That is the idea what we have with regard to the other Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama. In all the three Purushartha, the effort is there, karma is there. So we do karma to reach somewhere, get something. That is also the destination. Getting something and becoming something, reaching something. That is the goal. And that is the tangible goal, visible goal. The goal can be experienced. There is a goal is there. In all the other Purushartha, the other activities, there is a experience of the destination, experience of the goal. Gaining the goal, you feel happy, you feel temporarily one with what you have gained. There is a travel involved, and you have traveled. The travel involves effort, and the result of the effort is gaining the destination. The destination could be anything. It could be a place, or it could be a status, it could be a recognition, and that gives you a temporary sense of happiness, security, some comfort, some comfort. That is what the goal in general sense. But here, when the person attains the goal, the end of the road, advanaf param apnoti, that advanaf param, what the person gains or what the person seeks, it is not different from the person. It's not different from the person. He gains himself. How does he gain himself? How do you, is it like any other experience? Gaining himself means so far he has not understood the reality of himself. Yes, he had wrong conclusion about himself. The wrong conclusion is because of samsara. So therefore, because of wrong conclusion, so far he has been suffering in samsara, thinking himself to be a limited person, thinking himself to be inadequate. That apurnata, that not that 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 gave him a sort of dissatisfaction, discontentment, insecurity. Now, the wrong notion about himself has gone, gaining the knowledge. So, therefore, all the wrong, all the products of the wrong notion, that goes away. That goes away. If at all anubhava is there, that is only anubhava. And that is not a new anubhava. In fact, that what he gained is already there even before. And now he has discovered that only that cover, only that covering was removed. Removing the cover is gaining the vastu, gaining the destination, gaining the goal. Therefore, in Vedanta, we don't reach anywhere. There is no place to reach by the study of Vedanta, by the gaining of knowledge. If there is an expectation by the study of Vedanta, we reach somewhere, because that is a normal orientation people will have. In all other Purushartha, there is a place to be reached. There's something to be gained. Gaining is there. Reaching is there. Even with regard to Veda Purva, there is gaining is there. Reaching is there. Swargaloka, Prapti is there. But in Vedanta, there is nothing to be gained physically. Nowhere to be reached. You have to reach you. You have to gain you. Gaining you is not something that you gain new. It is already siddha. You are already gained, already prapta. It's a siddha vastu. Therefore, it is praptasya prapti, gaining the already gained. How is it possible gaining the already gained? That is only in the form of recognizing yourself as the destination, as a goal. You are the one what you are searching for. That you gain, then the journey stops. When you understand yourself to be that limitless Brahma, Purnam Brahma, then that is the end of the road. That is the end of the destination. So knowing Brahma is gaining Brahma. Knowing Aham Brahmasmi, Brahmatma, that is the end of the destination. Therefore, the important thing to be remembered in the pursuit of this study of Vedanta is there need not be any anxiety with regard to gaining the goal. Because what is to be gained is you. You are already gained. And the distance between the goal, the distance between you and the goal, it's only the wrong notion. The wrong notion only Vedanta knocks off. Therefore, for For that, there should not be any anxiety. There should not be any pressure. So it's a relaxed pursuit. So discovery that I am that limitless Brahma. I am acceptable to myself. I am significant. I am always secured. I am always acceptable. That is the destination. That is the knowledge. That is the recognition, and that is the destination. So far, I've been thinking that I have to become something to be accepted. But now, whatever may be, as I am now, it is acceptable. That knowledge, that is the Advan of Param, that is the end of the journey. So far, I have been having that the buddhi, the kartavya, aham karta iti buddhi, kartavyata buddhi. That buddhi, gaining this knowledge, goes away. As long as this kartavyata buddhi is there, you will keep on engaging. You keep on engage yourself in doing karma. And karma involves anxiety, worry, discomfort, effort. And now there is nothing to be gained. Therefore, kartrutvam, nothing to be gained because you are the gained. You are already gained. So kartavyam kinchit nasti. And kartrutvam also nasti. Kartrutvam will be there when there is a pressure to gain something. And this knowledge removes that notion of kartrutvam, bhuktrutvam. You understand aham akarta, abhokta. I don't have this kartrutvam, bhuktrutvam, this notion itself is not there. Then where is the karma? There is nothing need to be done. Nothing need to be done to improve myself. Therefore, no karma, no kartrutvam, therefore no karma. Therefore, the person is completely relaxed. That is the destination. That is the sarva samsara bandhanat. Sarva samsara bandhanat moksha. That is a moksha. Therefore, sarva samsara bandhanehi saha muchyate saha apnoti. So he gains. That is the meaning Vishnu Padam. Now, Bhashyakara explains the word Vishnu itself. Vyapana Shilasya. Vyapana is pervading. The word Vishnu is derived from the dhatu Vish dhatu. Vish dhatu plus pratyaya nu is added, you get the form Vishnu. So that which is the reality is all pervasive reality. That which is all pervasive. What is that all pervasive? This pervading, all pervading, that is the nature of Bhagavan. Pervasiveness, pervading everything. That is Paramatma. This pervasion, we should not think like this. The room is pervaded by light. The room is pervaded by air. Not like that. Paramatma pervades everything. Generally, by pervasion, what we understand is that something pervades in terms of space. Akasha pervades everywhere. Light also pervades as long as it is reachable. The room is pervaded by light. So, there, the pervasion, there we have some idea of pervasion. But Paramatma is not like that, light or air. Paramatma pervades everything means that everything is not different from Paramatma. Nothing is different from Brahma. That is the pervasion. There is nothing separate from Brahma. It means everything is Brahma. That is the pervasion. That is the Vyapana Shila. Like a pot is pervaded by clay. When we say a pot is pervaded by clay, what is the pervasion? There is no pot apart from clay. You cannot separate the pot from the clay. A pot is not different from clay. A pot is clay. A pot is nothing but essentially it is clay only. So clay pervades a pot. It means the non-existence of the pot apart from clay. That is what the meaning is. Similarly, the Jagat, the entire Jagat is pervaded by Paramatma. Jagat Sarvam Jagat, Idam Sarvam Jagat, Brahma. When we say the Jagat doesn't have existence apart from Brahma. Minus Brahma, Jagat doesn't exist. So this Jagat is Nitya. It is only a Nama Rupatmakam Jagat. Like the pot. Pot is nothing but a Nama Rupa given to clay. That is the pervasiveness. So therefore, Vyapana Shilasya, when we say, we have to understand the word Vyapana Shilasya, Brahmanaha Paramatmaha, is that nothing is separate or away from Paramatma, Brahma. And Paramatmanaha is equal to Vasudeva Kyasya. Vasudeva Kyasya Paramam. Vasudeva Kyasya. Who is Vasudeva? Vasudeva we know. Vasudeva is the father of Krishna. Father of Krishna. Vasudeva. Vasudevasya apatyam puman Vasudevaha. The son of Vasudeva is Vasudeva. Vasudeva is the person. The son of Vasudeva is Vasudeva, Krishna. So Vasudeva Kyasya is, as Bhagavan, Bhagavad refers to the person, the avatara Krishna. The word also has to be interpreted. Vasudevaha. Two words are there. One is Vasu, other one is Deva. Vasu and Deva, two words. Vasuscha aso Devascha. It's a Karmadarya Samasa. Vasati Sarvam Asmin Iti Vasuhu. That in which everything lives. Sarvani Bhutani Asmin Vasati Iti Vasuhu. Everything that which lives in that. That is that which is the adhisthana of all the beings. All the beings. That is Vasu. And Devaha. Devaha is Bhagavan, Ishvaraha. So, Vasuhu cha aso devascha Vasudevaha. Deva also, it means from the dhatu, div dhatu. Div dhatu, divyati iti devaha. That which shines. That which shines. The form of consciousness. Chaitanya Rupena. So therefore, Vasudeva indicates Vasati Sarvani Bhutani Asmin. So that existence is denoted by the word Vasu, and the consciousness, the shining is denoted by the word Deva. Therefore, Vasudeva means Sat Chit. That is Brahma. So Vasudeva Kyasya Paramatmanaha. Therefore, that Sat Chit Swarupa Brahma is what denoted by the word Vasudeva. Vasudeva Paramatmanaha Shashti Vibhakti. Therefore, Vasudeva Kyasya Paramam. Paramam is Prakrishtam. Paramam is Prakrishtam, which is superior, highest, exalted. Padam. Padam is the place, the goal, the destination. Sthanam. Padam means the place. Vishnoho Padam. Vishnu Sthanam. The place of Vishnu. Vishnu doesn't have location. Therefore, everything is the Sthanam of Bhagavan. That is, therefore, when everything is a goal, then what does it mean? The goal is not different from you. That's the understanding. So, Padam, Sthanam, Satatvam, the real nature. So, the real nature is, the real Vishnoho Padam, when we say, it is Vasudeva Kyasya Paramam Prakishtam Sthanam Satatvam Ityetat. So, we have to understand this Vishnu Padam is not a different Padam. It's not a Padam which is different from you. The real nature of the Satchit Ananda Brahma, that is the Padam that has to be gained in terms of knowledge. Therefore, this is the Lakshyartham. This is the intended meaning of the word Vishnoho Padam. Okay. Now, here, the word Vishnu Padam. Vishnu Padam can be further analyzed. When you say Vishnu and Padam, Padam is the place, the destination, the sthanam. Whose Padam? Then Vishnu Padam. Vishnu's destination, the destination where Vishnu is. So it means two words are there. Padam is there, Vishnu is there. So when two words are there, then what is the, and it is connected by the Shashti Vibhakti. Vishnu Padam. Like for example, Ramasya, Dasharathasya Ramaha, when we say, two things are there. One is Dasharatha, other one is Rama. Mama Putraha, when you say, I am there and son is there. Two things are there. Two things are connected by the Shashti Vibhakti. Shashti Vibhakti denotes Sambandha, a connection, a relationship. So Vishnoho Padam, when you say, there must be two things. Vishnu is one thing and Padam is another thing. Therefore, two things means they are different. So Padam is different, Vishnu is different. Like Dasharathasya Putraha. Shashti Vibhakti when it is used. So this, it denotes the relationship. Therefore, if Vishnu and Padam are different, that meaning, suppose if it gives, how do we understand this? How do we understand the Shashti Vibhakti here? If Vishnu is all pervasive, all pervading reality, and Padam is a place, then there seems to be a contradiction. If they are different, then what is the difference? And we say they are not different. So how do we understand this? This is like the expression Rahoho Shiraha. Rahoho Shiraha. Rahu is one of the planet. Really speaking, Rahu is not a physical planet, but in the Jyotisha Shastra, Rahu and Ketu. Rahu is a planet. We consider as Rahu as a planet. And Rahu is depicted as a person only with the head. Only with the head. So Rahu is the head. The body is not there. Similarly for Ketu only the other part, the tail will be there. That is Ketu. So Rahoho Shiraha, when we say, Rahu has got only Shira. It doesn't have the other parts. So Rahoho Shiraha, that is an expression. So this is a Aupachariki Shashti. The Shashti Vibhakti is called Aupachariki Shashti. That is, even though Rahoho Shashti, when we say two words are there, one is Rahu, other one is Shiras. And between Rahu and Shiras, there is no difference. The Shiras is Rahu. And Rahu is nothing but Shiras. But still we use Shashti Vibhakti as though the two things are there connected. That type of usage of Shashti Vibhakti is called Aupachariki Shashti. Aupachariki Shashti. Really speaking, Shashti Vibhakti can be used when there is a sambandha, a difference. Two things are different and therefore they are connected. Difference between two objects. But here, it is not like that. So here, both are not different. They are one and the same thing. But still, two words are used. Similarly, Vishnoho Padam, when we say, there are no two things, Vishnu and Padam. Between Vishnu and its Swarupa, there is no difference. Padam is the place, the sthanam, the nature. So between Vishnu and the nature, there is no difference. What is the difference between Sat? Brahma is Satchit Ananda Brahma, we say. What is the difference between Brahma and Sat? No difference. Like Ragavo Shashti. Therefore, it is only a Upacharika Shashti. It's only a secondary usage of the sixth case. So, therefore, we should not think it as that Shashti Bhakti talks about two different objects. No. If two different objects come, then Dvaita walks in. Other darshanams, other philosophy can walk in. That is not the idea here. Therefore, Vishnoho Padam. Padam is not different from Vishnu. That is the idea. Therefore, Yat aso apnoti vidvan. That highest Padam, that Vishnu Padam, Saha Vidvan, the knowledgeable person, the Jnani, apnoti, he gains. That is the meaning of this mantra and the Bhashya. Now, the next mantra, Sangati is that. We will read Sangati. Aduna Yat Padam Gantavyam
Yat padam gantavyam
Tasya Indriyani
tasya indriyani
Stulani Arabhya
स्थूलानि आरभ्य
Sukshma Taratamya Kramena
सूक्ष्मतारतम्येन
Pratyekatmataya
यदात्मतया
Adigamaha Kartavyah
कर्तव्यः
Ityevam Artam
इत्येवम् अर्थम्
Idam Arabhyate.
इदम् आरभ्यते.
Yes. Aduna is Idanim, now. Yat Padam Gantavyam, that pada which is to be gained, to be reached. I told the meaning of the word Padam also. Padyate Nyayate iti Padam. Padyate Gamyate iti Padam. The Padam is that which is Gamyate, is reached. That is Padam. And the Gamanam is in terms of knowing, Jnana. So Nyayate. That which is gained by knowing. That is called Padam. So the word Padam, knowing also is a Padam. And reaching also is a Padam. Reaching a place physically, that is also a Padam. But the same Padam has got the meaning of Nyayate. Nyayate Gamyate. Avagamyate. Iti Padam. Understanding. Yat Padam Gantavyam. That understanding which is to be gained. That's how we have to translate this portion, these words. Yat Padam Gantavyam. That place to be reached. That understanding to be gained. Tasya Purushasya. Tasya Indriyani Stulani Indriyani Arabhya. Starting from these Stulani Indriyani, from the sense organs which are gross. Starting from there, Sukshma Taratamya Kramena. There is an order. Krama is there. There is a gradation is there. Taratamya is there. Sukshma Taratamya. In Sukshma is subtle. So in terms of subtlety, there is a taratamya, a gradation. Gradation in terms of subtlety. Starting from the stula, gross sense organs, in terms of the gradation of this subtlety, Pratyagatmataya Adigamaha. Pratyak Atma. Pratyak means inner. Atma is self. Atma is Atma. So Pratyak Atma means the Atma as though located inner. Pratyak Atma, there is this word is used. We use it often. Pratyak Atma. But when you translate Pratyak Atma, it is Pratyek Atma, inner self. It doesn't mean that self is located inside the body. Inside the body, there is a space, and in the space, self is sitting there. Not in that sense. Pratyekatma means Atma only. That Pratyak, inner, that going from outer to inner, that is only in terms of understanding. There is no inner and outer for Atma. This is a big confusion and wrong understanding people have. Generally, who study Vedanta on their own, and they study this Panchakosha Viveka and all, this is the understanding they have. The dangerous understanding. That Pratyekatma, when we say that it is located inside and the body is covered. First Annamaya Kosha is covered, and later Pranamaya is there, Manumaya is there, then Vijnanamaya is there, then Anandamaya. And this Kosha also they translate as sheath. Sheath means that's a cover. So each cover has to be removed one by one, and you will find that the Atma inside sitting like the onion peeling the cover. That is not the idea. That which is inside and outside, that is Atma. That which is located inside and outside. It means what? It doesn't have inside or outside. It's everywhere. We are dismissing now our identification with different sharirams. We identify ourselves with all the 5 sharirams. Therefore, we have this notion, aham etesham mama idam, this is me. All these notions, that abhimana comes. Shariram is myself, identifying with the stula shariram, Annamaya Kosha. And that abhimana has to be dismissed. The abhimana only with this, that has to be dismissed. So therefore, dismissing one by one, we travel as though inside. It doesn't mean the Atma is located inside. If Atma has got location, that's a problem. It is going to be limited. And the limited Atma cannot give me Ananda. It cannot give me Purna, completeness. Therefore, the word Pratyak has to be understood properly. Pratyak Atma is Atma only. Inner self, even though we translate as inner self, that is only from the perspective of traveling from the Annamaya to, traveling from our Abhimana with Annamaya to the reality. That is what we have to take. Not a physical traveling, it is the traveling from our Abhimana standpoint. With each Sharira we have got Abhimana. Therefore, we travel from the Sharira, from each Kosha over which we have Abhimana. From that we travel and we discover ourselves to be Sachit Ananda Atma. Therefore, since there's a travel involved in terms of knowing, therefore it is Pratyak Atma. It is as though inner. There's something inner, outer. That has to be understood. Therefore, Pratyak Atma is, we will just keep the word as Pratyak Atma. We need not translate as inner self. That translation has got certain limitation, can give certain misunderstanding. So we can keep the word Pratyekatma. Pratyekatma or Atma, both mean the same. Adhigamaha, to be understood. Adhigamaha kartavyaha. Adhigamaha, to be reached. Adhigama kartavyaha, that Pratyekatma to be reached. How? Taratamya, sukshma taratamya kramena is to be reached through in the order, in terms of the subtlety, from grosser to gross, gross to subtle, subtle to subtler, subtler to subtlest, and finally Atma, which is the cause for everything. So that is a travel. Starting from Stula Indriyani Arabhya. Iti evam martam idam arabhyate. For that purpose, to understand the Atma, traveling from this Stula Indriyani up to the Pratyekatma, now this portion is going to be started. This portion is going to be started. It means we are going to travel from the Stula Indriyani to Pratyagatma, the traveling in terms of knowledge. We are going to travel. We are going to travel from our Abhimana with our Annamaya Kosha, the external things, external organs, sense organs, body. Now we are going to know the travel. We are going to travel inside. So that is the topic of the following discussion. Therefore, the Upanishad starts with the mantra. We will read the mantra. Indriyebhyah parahyarthaha.
इन्द्रियेभ्यः पराह्यर्थाः
Arthebhyascha param manaha.
अर्थेभ्यश्च परं मनः
Manasastu para buddhihi.
मनसस्तु परा बुद्धिः
Buddhiratma mahan paraha.
बुद्धिरात्मा परः
I'll give the simple meaning of this mantra. We will see the meaning in detail with the Bhashya next class. So, Indriyebhyaha parahirtaha. If you understand the words of the mantra and understand form a sentence, understand the meaning, then the meaning will be confusing. You will see how it will be confusing. Indriyebhyaha paraha hyartaha. Hyartaha means artaha. He plus artaha. Artha is indriya artha. That is sense objects. Indriyebhyaha is indriyani. Indriya is indriyani. So indriyebhyaha paraha. Paraha means superior, exalted. Paraha. Which is paraha? Indriyebhyaha panchami vibhakti. So compared to indriyas, that is sense organs, which is paraha, which is greater? Artaha, that is sense objects. Sense objects are greater than sense organs. That is the meaning. Sense objects are greater than sense organs. How can it be greater? How can it be greater? But the Upanishad says, so we have to analyze the meaning of the words of the mantra. Then the next one. Artebhyascha param manaha. Manaha is param. Manaha param. Superior, greater. Then artebhyaha. Compared to sense objects, mind is better, greater. So compared to indriyas, sense objects. Compared to sense objects, mind. Then manasastu para buddhihi. Compared to mind, manasaha panchame vibhakti, manas shabda. Manasaha tu para buddhihi. Buddhi is para, greater. Compared to mind, buddhi is greater. That part at least we can accept. Yes, buddhi as the function of taking the decision, the decisiveness. That is the job of buddhi. Manaha is chanchalatmika manaha. So compared to mind, buddhi is greater. In terms of the faculty, the functioning of the antakaranam, we can accept this. Buddhi is para. But sense objects are greater than sense organs. And compared to sense objects, those things we have to discuss. We have to understand properly. We will do that with Bhashyam later. Now, Buddhehe Atma Mahan Paraha. Buddhehe Atma Mahan Paraha. Compared to Buddhi, Buddhehe Atma. Buddhehe Mahan Paraha. Mahan Atma. We have to take Atma as not Sachidananda Atma here. Buddhehe Mahan Atma Paraha. Mahan Atma is Mahat. Mahan Atma is Mahat. Mahat, we will see what Mahat is also later. So compared to Buddhi, Mahat is Paraha is superior, greater. So Mahan Atma is Mahat. That Mahat is samashti, in the samashti, in totality, we will discuss about what Mahat is. Mahat is superior to the Buddhi iti. So there is a Taratamya is given. And Bhagavad Pada says a Taratamya in terms of subtlety. But that seems to be a discrepancy. Indriyebhyaha parayartaha. Those details we'll see. We'll see in the next class how it is. With the Vashyam, we will understand it clearly. We'll stop here. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ